just a quick check, seeing if this is working. I believe that it's working. I have no reason to assume that it's not, so welcome everyone. I am here with a Terra Mystica Tuesday League game. This is the Terra Mystica Tuesday League is a league that is played on Tuesdays. It's kind of like a casual gathering of people playing Terra Mystica. We're now in season 6 of it. You get grouped with people with similar elos, which is why this is such a strong table. And yeah, you play the same people for like a few weeks. Week 1, everyone was off, like in this group, because we had one fewer people than like normal. But we'll be playing these same opponents every Tuesday for the next 3 weeks after this. So hopefully you guys enjoy. And I will be just, let's break down this setup in just a second here. Okay, so let's take a look. What do we got here? We got the regular factions, we've got revised base, and we've got settlement scoring, aka Fakirs / dwarves scoring. I think that Fakirs are a must-have in this game. The game is just going to be so much more fun if Fakirs are in it. Because this endgame scoring was like essentially created for like factions that don't have an easy time making lots of towns. This map is particularly friendly to mermaids, so we'll keep an eye out for them as well. Mermaids on Revise are about as strong as any faction on any map, and especially with big buildings, late TPs, and dwellings into TPs, mermaids with a temp ship double dig opening can get out all 8 of their dwellings trivially in this dwelling round, followed by making all of their TPs in these rounds, followed by building up and making their big buildings late, locking up network in towns in round 4. So we're going to keep an eye out for mermaids, and I would love to put in Fakirs if allowed. I'm hoping that brown doesn't get put in first, but yeah, okay. So Fakirs are in. We kind of expect mermaids, so I think that it might be nice to just put in a faction that would at least somewhat, trouble mermaids. So I'm going to toss in witches. I think witches also have a fine time building out early and building up late. Now, witches do like to make towns. I am updating my stream title so that says not to, just to remind people not to give advice for this one, because it is kind of like a league of sorts, It's not super formal, but we would like to try to succeed on our own merits. Again, it's, it's fine to chat and stuff if you have comments. It's, I'm just going to try not to take any advice. So yeah, witches love making towns. This is the anti-towns setup. We do have mermaids, which, that's why I put witches in. I didn't want the game to just go like insane. I didn't want mermaids to just alone go absolutely insane this game, so we're okay with this. I think witches we might place B5. So I anticipate the pass tiles going something like this. For the spade and the fort seat, mermaids take the temp ship, and then witches get like a priest or something. I think that that's fine, because if I'm witches, that probably means that I open with either a ship advance or a priest to fire or something. And then after that, if mermaids come onto here, then I take the single dig onto A10, and I lock up this. And then I work eventually on getting the shipping to come down to here. That's how I envision. Like, I think it's E7, B5 for witches this game. You grab G3 with shipping if mermaids don't get to 3 ship too fast. Fuck. I hate cultists. And especially in a game with Fakirs, it's just annoying to have cultists. We're going to make mermaids here. Cultists will get out 2 easy dwellings early, so that's nice for them. Given the pressure that's likely to be on like A10 and stuff, given that witches are likely to be on B5, I do kind of like C4. I don't think that witches are going to get a double spade onto D4 that easily. So going something like C4, force witches hands here, and then C1. So then that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 dwellings you can build out. I think that's quite strong. I didn't even look at cultists. I think that the rainbow cults are not that great. They're going to get a few cults. They're going to get several spades off of this, which is nice, but I actually don't particularly love. I guess the upside to cultists is that you might just get 32 cult points this game. You should be able to get yourself a town here. But some of the things that cultists like in the game are not in. For example, that ship tile is not in the game. There's a priest in the game, so someone else is going to get some nice shipping opportunities, or rather, priest to cults. Yeah, I'm very boldly gonna say that cultists are not going to wind up scoring the most points this game. Which is not to say that they might not win the game, but I don't think cultists are going to win this game if they're going to be bid like this compared to mermaids. The one good thing about cultists is that you are in by far the best leech position. I guess witches have a pretty decent one too, but it's going to go like blue, yellow, brown, green, blue, maybe yellow. So brown being right in the center here is nice. The only thing is that if I'm playing witches, I'm stranding cultists on F5. They're not going to have a neighbor here. Fakirs might go there, but that's extremely generous for Fakirs to do. I suppose Fakirs might do it just for their own good, because that gives them access to doing stuff like this, but I am not too crazy about doing that. The assured double dig in a dwellings round early with the dwelling and TP pass tiles being the only things on the track is just so good for mermaids. I don't feel like any regrets about what I'm doing here. I think that witches might become the 40 because I think that Fakirs and witches I'm going to value pretty similarly. I think witches have a better opening, which always is pretty attractive. For Fakirs, I think I would like to do something like a temple plus a hop or something like that. I wonder about the importance of Earth 1 this game. It might be pretty important. One awkward thing about Fakirs, I suppose, is that you don't have a particularly good spot for a town. Well, that's not true. You have this town here, but unless you hop here, then you're going to be up, unless you don't start in E5, you don't want to start D3, E5. I think that you'd rather start E8 or something. So your first action can't be to take a priest. So you can't hop onto d3 right away. If you leave e5, cultists with a very high chance just take it from you. So I think that you have to start e5. But this is not a town spot, which is awkward. I'm not used to just opening with a temple for witches. I'm not even sure which temple is the right one to open with witches. Air is always nice because you can try to win the air cult, but I think that since you're getting the priest, I don't mind playing Priest of Fire, and then I open with, yeah. I think that my goal for this round is Priest of Fire with witches, single dig A10, build A11, and then take Fire 1. Quick check on settlements. Like, witches have a town here. I think that this town should definitely happen for witches. They have a town here. And then what? They build this hex to connect. Or they get like d6 or something to connect. Landscapes are on. We should keep that in mind. That's not great for witches either, but I don't think that we're building big buildings until late, and we're probably not building the stronghold at all this game. There's no ship tile in the game, so it's going to be hard to like get this stuff out to like go really wide. I think that despite that there being extra scoring, it's actually a pretty tough, it's going to be a pretty low scoring game, so it makes me like Mermaids even more. Just be able to hit this track super hard and then take either water 1 or whatever later. Because especially like, it's a great game to have lots of workers out early. First of all, because it hits the track. Secondly, because of this. Third, because of these TP events. And fourth, because it's a high coin game. So like, the temp ship opening for Mermaids is just so strong. I should have meant to say that, like, I don't trust myself to necessarily beat Cultists here, but I do think that Mermaids are a very good faction. It doesn't mean that I will beat Cultists by, like, playing Mermaids. I'm not, like, there's no guarantee that I'm, like, strong enough to do that, but I do think that their game plan is as good as Cultists, if not better. I'm like thinking something very stupid right now, which is that maybe there's a world where you start here as Fakirs. You start E5, G5 as Fakirs. You have neighbors on both your stuff, and then you try to beat Cultists to E8. I don't love this because the temp ship tile is in the game. So Cultists only need to advance ship once, and then get on temp ship, and then they just take E8 from you, and then you're very unhappy because E8 also loses you B4. This hex is like unusually good because of this, but I think that if you just get B4, even if you lose this, like you have a good chance of getting F7. Because it's pretty expensive for Cultists to try to dig through here. I don't think that they have a ton of reason to do that, so it's very possible that like you can go B4 and then dig one of these reds. Specifically C5, I think. And then that gets you here and here. So yeah, I think G4 is wrong. I think that it's better to try to strand Cultists as much as possible. Let them pay the price for being in this game and like, you know, starting here. I think that there is some bidding on Cultists just because they're Cultists, and like there's not an obvious other cult faction here. And admittedly, those are very strong reasons to bid cultists. But I think that I like witches with temple for earth 1, for fire 1, then second temple for earth 1 maybe here. I like Fakirs quite a bit, just like temple for whatever. Earth 2 maybe. Or not Earth 2, but Air 2. Then put a priest to air to try to get some spades going as we come here. This map really is an embarrassment of hexes for mermaids. The only thing is that they don't tend to lend themselves well to settlements. They kind of tend to lend themselves to towns. But it's like, okay, so you don't make towns, instead you make settlements, or instead of settlements you make towns. It's like that's a good dilemma to have, I think. Basically, I see witches, in my game plan, witches are the second best culty faction, but I don't trust the mermaids player not to temple. So I want to make sure that mermaids get down low enough before I bid witches, thinking that I'm just going to get like 16 cult points or whatever, you know, like. Fire X is having a good old think on this one. Already wants witches. Okay. So if I go to Fakirs now, then I just get them. The only problem is that it will be a little slow. Again, like, we're probably losing E5, and I think that's an issue. If we start here. And if we don't start there, then it's going to take us a while to, like, get over to here and start carving our town. But I suppose that our town doesn't matter until later, so I still think that there's enough reason to play mermaids here that they're still pretty good. But yeah, early in the game, we're at a priest deficit for Fakirs. That's the most awkward part, I think. All right. Who's the monster picking revised base? I believe this is JSP's home game. He invited everyone. So I think that that's what happened there. Anyway, mermaids are like insanely good, but you know what? There's no ship scoring. It's a low scoring game, like both on the track and here, and it's settlement scoring. So it's a round 4 towns game. So like at that point, I should be able to get through here, even if I do need fire too. So I'm just gonna go for it. YOLO, right? We will buy a priest if we're allowed to at all. I don't anticipate that we should be allowed to. I really don't think that we should be, but we will take it if it's offered. I think we're probably going to start on the 4 coins cult step tile. It gives us like an outside shot at getting double temple, which would definitely help with some of our issues. Doesn't. I think double temple's not very good because we want these. It would be nice to get the 3 points here or something, but double temple can help us get the spade. Oh no, we can put the okay. Here's what we do, right? We open temple air 2, No, witches, no! Fire X, what are you doing, buddy? Well, this is handing the game to Mermaids, I think. This is this is really not what I wanted to see. I think that this is tremendously good for Mermaids. Okay, so here's the case for witches. The case for witches is that now you can take Cultist Leech because Cultists have been bid down. Now you have a spot for a town, and so what if Mermaids take A10 from you? You can just take these two hexes, and it's settlement scoring. So you just get a town down here, you get a town here, and you get this town. And you don't make a third town. Instead, you just get these two hexes. Okay. I'm a little like tilted because this is not what I expected, and I think that it goes against me. But it's very reasonable for this to have happened, unfortunately. So anyway, the bump is going to go on air, and we're going to be taking air 2. And if we're allowed, we're also going to grab a priest action, but we'll see how that goes. I don't think Mermaids are forced to upgrade next to me. I think I'd rather give the power to Cultists than to Witches, because Witches have snubbed me by doing this shit over here. So, because Witches are not on B5, I'm going to give the Leech to the Cultists, and hopefully that doesn't hurt too bad. Witches do upgrade here, though, so it does seem to imply that I probably should have upgraded E8, because there's less of a gamble there. We'll see what Red Alert feels like doing. Red Alert Red Alert wants double dig, so Red Alert should not be taking a priest. I think I will. Well, we'll see what Cultists do. Cultists could take the priest here. But yeah, obviously the priest would be a pretty big coup for me. Just secures double dig first. Fair enough. Those are the spots where I would. He can now get out all of his dwellings, literally, and then there will be two. There are 2 coins pass tiles in this game, so. This is cool for Mermaids. They're going to be able to get maximum leech on D3 because while I buy the priest, they can just build D2. Cultists go up that track, fair enough. We said we wanted this. Like, we need the worker production quite a bit. We have some coins. It's a pretty coin-rich game in terms of the pass. All 4 of the tiles with native coins printed on them are in the game. If I were Witches, I would be putting Priest to Fire here and templing for Fire 1. Though I think that Earth 1 is pretty defensible in this game as well. Anyway, we should be able to fly to D3 next. Finish up our temple here for Air 2. Put this bump. So we have 3 more actions this round. Mermaids have 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, so they'll build A10. Maybe they leave one of these hexes unbuilt. Mermaids take a single dig onto F4, which is pretty interesting. I don't think that they have the leech to make a bridge this round. They're only going to get 3 more power, 4 more power, so they'll have 5. That is, unless they put the priest to air. They could put the priest to air and temple for air 2. Then they would be able to bridge and build G3. So that is what I'm imagining that they're going to do. And yeah, unfortunately, Mermaids deny me leech here. They had the opportunity to build A4 or build C4 or something else instead. But instead, they're going to get extra leech off me on D3. They're probably also going to build A4 before I can hop to B2. So that's a bit of a bummer. But it's nothing we didn't see coming. So we have 3 actions left. Cultists have 1, 2, 3 actions left at least, but they could also take coins and or workers, and they could also slow play if they wish. I think that if I were Cultists, I would probably just be taking Earth 1 here as Cultists. I don't think that you actually need an economic boost in any of these categories. Earth 2 is arguably the best other favor to take here because there's early TPs. However, there's no Earth Cult reward that you really want to secure, so I think that I would actually just be taking Earth 1 as cultists, even though I don't traditionally like doing that much. It's kind of a power type game in terms of the pass style, so I think that Air 2 makes a lot of sense in there as well. I should also note that Fire X doesn't have to put the priest to a cult and can just advance ship and build G3, but I think that that's not his plan. We're going to see what cultists want to do here. So passing early is a little suboptimal because we're at 6. We're gonna get 2 more here. Oh, they take this hex? I mean, sure. I do not understand this one because if Mermaids wanted this hex, they could have taken it, right? There's no spade actions left. I am very clearly not taking this hex. Witches are not taking this hex. Even if you want it, like, I assume that this means that they're not taking Earth 1. This does increase their leech, I suppose. Okay, it increases their leech, so fair enough. Do we want to give them this leech now? Or do we want to make this flight first? Cultists are going to have a very fast round from here on out, so let's temple. We're going to take Air 2. Are cultists really fixated on getting this fire cult reward? Is that why they did this? And like they want to temple and then get Earth 1? I still don't think that was the right move. Like, obviously they're not taking Earth 1 at this point, right? This is the big reason I think that witches should put priest to fire, or my plan with witches was to put priest to fire. If witches had started B5, I totally would have just upgraded E8 to give them the stuff that they needed for this. So I need to get 2 more power, so that'll put me at 7 and 4. So I still need just a little bit more power after that. I could get that by sending a priest to a cult, but that doesn't seem great. I'm talking about it in order to secure double dig, obviously. Witches put priest to air, which is a bummer for me. It means that they're likely going to take air 2 as well, which is awful. Makes both their lives worse. I'm very disappointed in this Fire X game, honestly. I don't think it's necessarily bad, but it's bad for me, and it's very, very, very good for Mermaids. Like, there's no question this is like very good for Mermaids and for Cultists. It might be good for Witches too. I do accept that, but it's incredibly good for our opponents here. And it's Air 2 for Cultists. God, this is fucking miserable. So Cultists are going to pass. They're going to double spade. Oh, but if Cultists do that, then I suppose that I am going to just get then I might get the spade. So we're going to do this, because we do need that reward. So now we're ready to pass if Cultists pass. If Cultists don't take like a coins action or something. And in fact, we actually are ready to pass as well because we can take double dig. No, double dig is no good for us unless we're on D3. Yeah, so what we really want is we just want to get Cultist Spade. So if they take an action, we take an action. If they pass, then we pass. That is our plan for next round. Yeah, I'm saddened by this Witches game quite a bit, and I'm very saddened by this. I think that this is bad for everyone, and like it seems very bad. It especially seems really bad for cultists, I have to say. Like, I just really don't see the upside for cultists taking Air 2 here. I think that actually is just like suboptimal for them because like just take Earth 1. It's actually okay to just take Earth 1. Hot take. Mermaids are getting close to passing. Mermaids have a very clear preferred pass tile, and that is the dwellings. Or actually, no, Mermaids would be happy with the 7 coins as well. I'm guessing that Mermaids ideally want to make like TP Water 1, then a whole bunch of TPs around me on D3. Yeah, Red Alert's saying that there's going to be a lot of contested power actions, and that is absolutely true. There can't possibly be anything better than just taking the spade right here for me. I think there's a case for taking G2 with a spade. I'm going to have 2 priests next round, so one of them can go on G2, drop my landscape here, then I fly over to D3, and then maybe I try to take a power spade over here. But yeah, this spade pass tile is way too good. I'm not letting that get by us. For the record, I don't like what Cultists did here very much. I think that might have been obvious already, but they're probably going to double spade these 2 hexes, I have to assume. Yeah, I don't think it's great. I think Mermaids are winning. Yeah, I think Mermaids are winning. Cultists could double spade G2, I guess. That would be bad for both of us, but it does give them their town. I think it's quite bad, but I think that they've also shown kind of a willingness to do bad things, so. Witches are going to get this, which is cool. That's going to get them an extra spade. This round they can start advancing ship and stuff. And now Red Alert does indeed get onto the Dwellings pass tile. Yeah, this Mermaids game is disgusting. Cultists are forced to take. Yeah, see, I think this is not good, and I think that Mermaids are going to crush here. As they probably deserve to. I should have just kept getting Mermaids. I was a fool. I'm going to take a power spade here. I think the power spade goes on to E3, and I drop. I probably don't drop my landscape there, actually. I think maybe I want D4 for my landscape spot. Actually, there's a world where I town up here as well. Let's grab the power spade like we said we were going to. It will come here, and this will probably just be a regular dwelling. My thing is that I don't... Okay, here's what it's going to be. I think that the landscape goes here, then I fly here, and then I put a regular dwelling down here. Yeah, that's the plan. Okay. Here goes the landscape. Anyway, yeah, suffice it to say I'm not very impressed with Cultists not building G5 or H7 over the course of 2 rounds. Now, they are going to be able to build those out anyway, so maybe it doesn't matter that they're playing so tall. They're going to probably spade I7 away with the Cult Spade after this round. Advanced Ship spade this away, but the power spades are gone. They're not on this spade tile. Fire X, I would assume, wants coins here, but also needs to actually build out some structures. I would probably just start by building this and then seeing if I got some more leech. Yeah, that's exactly what they do. Which is bump air, which is what I thought that they should do, and they're just going to hang out. I get some leech. I approve of that. If you're not a huge fan of my move here, just know that you're not alone. I also don't think that that was a great move by me. My thing is I don't want to put a landscape here because I want this to be a town without the 8 of fire too. And I think that if it's a 3 hex town and one of them is a landscape, then it's going to require fire too. Or like an extra dig on E1 or something. So the rest of this round is going fly, dig, or maybe dig, fly, then build. That's probably it. Dig, fly, build. Yeah, Fire X now is a leech that he wants to take coins. Cultists, if I were Cultists, I would be considering coins into Priest, into like 2 ship advances or something. Okay, it's Priest. They're just going to straight up do their stuff. I could send a Priest like Water or something. It might earn me an extra spade. I could also send Priest to Earth. That might earn me a spade, but I don't think that any of that's realistically an option until I do this. I will build D3 next, and then I'll pass. Or maybe I build a TP. I don't think I necessarily need a TP, but maybe I build D3 and I make a TP. TP gives me tempo on Earth 1. But then next round I am only building a TP and flying, which is a little underwhelming. Yeah, TP puts my coins as an issue. We'll see. I mean, I think that all these people still have lots of stuff to do, except for except for Red Alert. Red Alert's just going to happily pass onto this tile, but that's kind of the tile that I want, which is awkward. Witches are going to set themselves up to take Earth 1. It's an early pass by Mermaids to secure the TP tile. I think that's a great move. God, Mermaids were bid down almost as much as Cultists, and look at their points now. It's... Yeah. I maintain that Mermaids was the correct bid. I just... Yeah, and if I had known that Witches would do this, then I would have been even more excited about Mermaids. Especially Cultists taking Air 2 as well. Like, 3 opponents fighting for Air Spades is just hilarious. I'm going to decline the shit out of this. I don't want Cultists getting those spades. I don't think that they deserve that spade. And I hope that Witches join me in my campaign here. Cultists undo. Okay. They lock up Priest to there first. Fair enough. Build this. Now Reddler is going to get to open with a coins action. Absolutely insane. Mermaids continue just to be absolutely crushing this game. Yeah, I don't think that it's... I think that it's probably not correct for me to take Earth to build a TP here, because this is the only source of workers that I'm getting. I want to be able to build a TP, or I want to make a temple and build 2 dwellings next round. I think that as things are going, I can only do one or the other, or I can only build a temple and build 1 dwelling, and that's definitely no good if I build this TP. So I'm just going to float the TP. I'm going to build B2 and this next round, and then I'm going to make a TP, and we'll see how that goes. I'm thinking right now because I'm going to get a chance at double spade if I pass onto this, but that's probably not worth it. Yeah, that's probably not worth it. I had to think about it, though. Honestly, this might just be better. So the upside, here's the upside for this priest. This priest is good because if I just send 2 priests to the water cult, then I get a spade that can go here, and that's not very good, huh? I can build 2 TPs into this round. Ugh, that's not great. This is such an underwhelming. It's fine. Underwhelming is okay. We can live with underwhelming. Not everything needs to overwhelm. Let's see if Fire Axe agrees with me to decline this power. Okay, cool. So yeah, Cultists will need to do things the hard way to get their spade. I disagree with this priest to water, I think. I believe that Cultists were supposed to advance ship and hold a priest in hand so they had a chance to do this stuff up the air cult. Wow, Fire Axe, it's a very late coins action. That's pretty fantastic for him. Don't want... Witches are strongly considering this. They do wind up taking and giving Cultists the spade, which I think is very sad. Cultists are now going to get I7 and take away another yellow from me. Yeah, That was pretty sad. It obviously helps witches quite a bit, but it's still sad that it happened. Witches now pass for the spade, presumably. Um, though maybe they don't need a spade. Maybe what they want is temp ship, because that'll get them onto. No, they don't need temp ship. They can just so they can spade here. Well, okay, temp ship gets them these hexes, so they can put the spade on h4, f6, build these two, build this. They can build 5 hexes next round with a spade, or with temp ship rather. Um, yeah, that's probably what witches are doing here. I don't think I should lose both Earth 1 and Water 1 next round. I think I should be able to get one or the other. I prefer... okay, they take the spade. So they're going to carve out town territory, which makes sense because they're probably going to put cult spades on h4, f6, and then dig g6 next round. I assume that's what's going on here. I also assume that this is a ship advance coming from cultists, but they could just put priest to earth instead. They're not playing like a high network game, seemingly, so... Cultists taking air 2 is especially baffling because there are just so many spades on these cults that like they could get those, but just by putting priests to cults. They like spades like what do you call it? The air 2 is usually most valuable in terms of securing spades. But there are lots of cult spades this game. And a spade tile in the game. Yeah, okay. So cultists don't advance ship. They're just going to spade g5 and finally build these two. So it's going to go coins action, TP, temple. Here comes h4, f6 is my prediction. Oh, it's d7, okay. Cultists finally take g5. There's the coins. We're just going to naively upgrade in this spot that gives Red Alert a little more leech. Cultists can contend for double spade right now, but again, like they haven't advanced their shipping, so they don't have much of a place to do so. Which is maybe considering sending priests to the fire spot. Indeed, that is exactly what they do. Cultists no longer have that option, so I think that they'll probably just start advancing ship and or putting priests here. They might build a TP and 2 dwell. Their round could just be TP 2 dwellings, see if they need the bump on water from witches or not. I think that they would like to make a TP here. And I think that witches would like to accept that leech because it puts them in a position to grab a double spade. Sadly, I'm not in a position to use a double spade. Wow, no, cultists take the double spade. They're desperately trying to get connection and make it a 3-town game for them. I mean, they're welcome to do so. I just don't think that this is... Well, I guess this takes away a nice hex from witches. I said that witches should turn this guy green. I didn't miss that cultist were on temp ship, so this is kind of an interesting thing for them to do. But again, they should have all the spades they need. They're cultists. If I were witches, I would probably just decline this. But Fire X is his own person. He is allowed to give cultists 3 spades if he wants. Yeah, declines it. I think that was the right move. Well done. I don't think that was like a chump move. I think that was actually the right move. We are going to secure Earth 1 now. So that's nice. I believe this is Water 1 first. Indeed. And I kind of just think Mermaids want to build out all the rest of their stuff now. But by stuff, I mean TPs. I think that they have the economy to build all 4 of their TPs right now. Except that they lack a neighbor, but I am going to be a very, very good friend to Mr. Red Alert here by building B2. That is, for anyone keeping score, 24 points from both Water 1 and this coming in for Mermaids, plus 8. So that's 32 more points coming in for Mermaids. They're going to end this round at like 75 points minus a few points of leech. My sources tell me that's good. Well, the workers' action got taken by witches. This is, like, I suppose that, like, Air 2 is also good for getting yourself any resource that you might want, but I'm just really not a huge fan of what's been going on here. Red Alert's going to get himself an extra spade. That seems fine by me. Let's come here. Increase our leech chances. This is now 4 for 5 for Cultists. I had missed if they were taking these before, but I guess they are. Okay, that's cool. We got a little bit of leech here. So I'm trying to figure out if I should just be getting out of this round. The awkward thing is that my next few actions do not align with the track, like, at all. Like, we want to get that ship down. If we pass here onto the 7 coins, then we're going to be able to go... If we pass onto the 7 coins, right? I think that we probably skip building the sanctuary. We build this, and then we make 2 TPs. And I think that we have, like, exactly enough stuff for that. This might be good enough as well. Instead of the 2 coins, I hand a cult step. But I probably want the ship town. So I'm not like doing too much of a note there. But yeah, if I build 2 TPs outside of the correct round, which is a bummer, don't get me wrong. Then I probably can Sanctuary for Air 1 or something in a later round. How much more leech am I expecting this round? None really, right? Okay. Let's only down convert 1. We'll leave ourselves open to taking a free leech. I'm just seeing like there might be some chances for some free cult points, but witches should be taking some away, but mermaids are still a little slow. This is the closest thing to a worker that's on the board right now. Oh god, I fucked up. Mermaids are gonna give me so much more leech. Oh god, what was I thinking? I should have converted to a worker or something. And why did I take the priest instead of the 7 coins? God, what am I doing? What am I doing, chat? Yeah, god, this is... What am I doing here? Fakirs gets his second town space locked up. Should be able to grab a bridge next round, which is cool. God, yeah, I think that this priest was a huge mistake. Like, you can defend some of the other decisions that I made, but at least I'll take this 2 for 1. It's actually a 1 for 1, but I think I have to do it because I really want the coin that bad. But God, that was really, really bad. I think Cultists 2 spades might go here. But we'll see. I actually think that the right place to put the 2 spades is on F1, not on E1, because this allows for a cheaper jump. It is possible that I'm not taking a ship town. There might be a world where... No, I'm taking a ship town. Yeah, I'm taking a ship town. I'm just so short on everything that it's like... kind of rough right now. Fakirs has a chance to take the coins pass tile, but is considering taking, or the points pass tile, but is considering taking some coins instead. It's an interesting dilemma. I think I would take the coins here. Well, no, I actually think that I would take the points, because Fakirs is going to... I think I would have taken the points. And here's why. The reason why is because I think I'm taking double spade. And I think that you might be able to see that coming, that I'm taking double spade. In which case, what you actually want is to what am I saying here? If you see that the person in front of you is taking double spade, then you're going to get a coins action. So Fakirs is actually going to get a coins action. So I think that given that you're going to have all those extra coins, like taking this is better. Cultists also have the same dilemma, except they also have a spade as an option. I think that the correct thing for Cultists to do is to take the points, or the coins rather. Which means Mermaids will get the points, which is incredible for them. But I think what should have happened here was it was supposed to go Witches onto the points, Cultists onto the coins, and then Mermaids onto either another coins or the spade. Probably the spade. Yeah, I like the spade there for... Yeah, Cultists do pass for the points, which I think was the right move. They might just open the round with Sanctuary Fire 2 for a coin town. It's pretty desperate for them right now. Red Alert builds C3. Okay. So that's definitely a bummer for me because I waste the free leech. And indeed, he is going to pass at 75, just like we thought. Right onto the Dwellings pass tile. He's going to be able to take B5, B1 to make two incredibly efficient towns. And then he's just going to be able to build like random dwellings to round out this game. And wow, doesn't take this. This is nuts. What is going on here, guys? Cultists take these two hexes, which I guess they're only going to make one town this round. But in any case, we want this guy. Yeah, we want this guy. Witches actually need a bridge, huh? So Cultists are going to get coins. That's really, really... Yeah, that's really, really nice for Cultists. Wow. I didn't realize how dreamy that was going to work out for Cultists. Because now Cultists can Sanctuary for Water 1 or Fire 2. They're going to be able to make two towns. Very simply here. So Cultists are in a better position than we thought before because Witches had to take a bridge instead of the coins. And this also makes what Witches did make a little more sense as well. I'm not crazy about this bridge because the Sanctuary that Witches make here, like they get a town around earlier, but they make their Sanctuary outside of the Sanctuary round, right? Like that's not that great. I don't know, maybe it's just me. That might be a crazy evaluation. I think we can just take H1 here pretty happily. The Fire Sanctuaries for Fire 2, man, I don't care for this very much, but it's fine. He's doing very well. He's probably beating me, so. Gets an 8-pointer. Doesn't take the 2-key town, which I find a little suspect. Like, why not just take the 2-key town? Like, now Cultists might beat you on fire. 2-key town is better economy, too. I don't know, I like 2-key town because of all the leech that it gives. Or, like, the power that it gives. I'm 100% taking this leech. We are going to fly next. We're probably going to wind up converting a priest to a worker in order to build E2. Our worker economy is unfortunately complete trash right now, so we need it. to help juice our game a little bit. What is water 1 for cultists? So they're going to make one town here and then try to carve out the last 2 towns later. They're going to take I7 away from me, but of course they are. Like, that's pretty trivial. Red Alert takes a priest town. Seems quite good. This is a hilarious score for Mermaids. Like, and they should just pass here. Like, I think Mermaids should totally just pass here. Yeah, I would totally just pass here as Mermaids. Then next round you can take these hexes or whatever. Like, we have an undo, wants the same town. Oh, he took a single spade. Okay, so he's staying in the round a little longer. It's fine by me. Grab this guy. Maybe we get some leech now. I'm not going to say no to some leech. But yeah, this is, like, I guess this is part of why I don't think that Mermaids were supposed to take the spade. I think that they were just supposed to take this. Because they haven't used the spade for anything. They could just pass right now to the TP tile. And that would be absolutely amazing, right? Red Alert probably grabs I2 now. Or F2 if he wants to make this like some town stuff. But I think I think F2 is a mistake. I think that just turning something like this into a town is really good. Okay, does take F2. We are going to take this leech. I actually don't think he wants this leech particularly. But you never know. I could be surprised. Okay, we're ready to pass. Let's see who else is ready to pass. I think Cultists are definitely ready to pass. Witches are not ready to pass. They took Fire 2 instead of Water 1, so they really want to do something now, in my opinion. If they don't make this town, then I think Fire 2 is a huge mistake. Yeah. Fire 2 is a huge mistake if they don't cash a town this round. Indeed, they're going to keep playing. Cultists, I think, on the other hand, should be leaving the round. And oh, I guess Cultists are going to pass, and Mermaids are going to pass. Oh no, Cultists stay in the round. Okay, so we are getting a pass tile here. That's a nice break. We didn't necessarily expect that. We need to figure out if we want the coins pass tile, or if we want the TP pass tile, or the dwelling pass tile. And I think the answer is I'm not building any TPs next round, so I'm guaranteed to have more dwellings than TP. then yeah. I think we go grab the coins action, build B4, build B1, throw a priest onto the fire cult. There you go for Fire X. There's the Fire 2 paying off. Cultists are going to build G4, H5, presumably, and then set themselves up for taking some more towns later. Cultists probably have dreams of a stronghold in the south, I'm guessing. Like, they can do this without Fire 2 if they just have, like, 1 TP and, like, a whole ton of dwellings here. A stronghold, a TP, and 2 dwellings here. And then they can still have another TP and a dwelling, like, chilling elsewhere. Seems reasonable, I think. I'm not sure if we're going to have the economy to build either of our big buildings, which could be a bit of a disadvantage for us. Reddler wants priests so that he can make a 3rd town. He wants to put a priest here so that he can make a town through here, which seems okay. I don't know if it's totally worth it here. Again, I would have just been on the dwelling tile, and I would have passed for the TP tile by now if I were Mermaids. But he's welcome to do what he wants. Like, a spade doesn't hurt, but you're winning network by so much already that it also doesn't seem particularly useful. I think witches and cultists are kind of helping each other out by both playing such tall, ridiculous game plans. Like, one of these guys is going to get network points despite playing, like, hilariously tall, which is pretty lucky for them. I suppose there's also the case to be made for, is Water 1 just worth taking anyway here for me? It slows down my economy even more. But I think I might be getting network points against witches anyway. Witches will get a spade, but don't have a good place to use it. They're only on 1 ship, so they have 2 more free hexes. Maybe they get to 3. They're going to get to 3 ship and build these 2. So witches have 1, 2, 3, 4 more easy hexes this game. So they're probably going to end, like, let's say they get all this stuff out. They're still going to end with 5 structures on their board. I have 3 more yellows. I'm assuming that I will get C5. I guess there's no real case for me taking Water 1 because I can just take Air 1 in the final round for 3 points. I may never build another TP. That's in play here. I might be building like 1 more TP this game. So. Mermaids did put themselves in position to pass for my tile at the end of the game, so that's cool. I think I probably open coins here. Otherwise, because Mermaids want the bridge. Now we'll see how this goes. So Cultists have about 24 points against me on the cults. Yeah, let's say that Cultists have 24 points against me on the cults, and they have 2 towns coming in while I have 0, so let's call that like 20 points. So that puts them out even with me, and I'm beating them on both network scorings, right? So I think I'm beating Cultists currently. Cultists do have water ones, so that's a bonus for them that I don't have. Um, well, okay, Cultists have more structures out than I realized. All those spades do pay off for them. So I do need to fight more for network. Which, yeah, I mean, that basically is saying that I should be, I should not, I should definitely not be building this sanctuary here. Maybe I build in the final round. Cultists finally get some shipping. They don't have anywhere to place those spades with shipping, but I think that was a good use of their priest. They eventually need some shipping. They're going to be able to pass on to 6 coins, which is what they really wanted anyway. Just looking back at round 1, there was a point where I passed onto this spade instead of flying and building an extra dwelling. I do wonder if that was a bit of a mistake, because my worker production has been so tight all game. Okay, sorry. I think I should expect a bit of leech from Mermaids here, or someone somewhere. So I should be able to get the double spade in the last round. I'm just kind of imagining that to be the case, in which case I do want this. I guess the other thing that I could have done, right, is I could have just waited to try to get a single spade or something. Just fly and take my hexes now. I'll Cultists build this instead of this. I think that that's a slight mistake. I should have sent Priest to Fire. There's a lot of workers on the Fire cult. Neglecting the Fire track was a mistake. I have not played this game well, I have to say. So this is going to be 2 TPs, and this is going to be Stronghold TP here for these towns. I suspect that Mermaids will grab the single dig now. Or actually, Mermaids should really just bridge here. So I think for the rest of this game, I want c5, b6, and f7 as hexes, which means that I want one more TP. So let's count how many that is. Let's say I manage to get a dig on a c5. So that's 3. Or let's say I don't need a dig on c5. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then maybe I stronghold here. Ooh, I do want this. So I want this because this actually gets me c5. Assuming witches don't single dig here, which I hope they don't. Like witches should build i6. Yeah, they do. Okay, so that takes care of our dig issue. It might have been too many points to pay for it, but I'm pretty excited about it. So let's just count my excitement as a moral victory, right? It's coin town for Cultists. I think that's the right play. I don't think witches want. Oh, it's a 2 for 1. Witches might as well take it. There's no longer any reason to like be concerned about Cultists for any reason. So. I think witches have beaten Cultists quite comfortably at this point. Okay, so I have 10 workers left this game. And I want to do 2 flights and a TP. I don't think that there's any reason to push for more network than that, honestly. Maybe we should count it. Okay. If we pass for this priest, we could go... Okay, if we pass for the priest, it could go TP, TP, fly, fly, fly. And then that would get me to 15 structures. But I don't think that's going to beat Mermaids. If Mermaids want, they can easily just get out down to like their 2 big buildings or something. Like they have so many hexes already. But 15 might be important to beat Cultists anyway, so it is possible that we just skip the big building. Pass for the priest. It does look like witches have pretty clearly beaten me at this point. I'm just assuming that. I'm going to try to beat them on network. I am winning network here. Yeah, it does seem pretty important to beat Cultists on overall network. It's sad for me that I'm not going to get this spade. It's definitely sad for me. Looks like we have to pass. Oh, I suppose we could build a TP. I think that makes no sense at all, though, so glad we entertained that thought, because we don't need the coin economy, we actually need the worker economy more. I think we pass on to this, and we give ourselves a shot at making something interesting happen. So can we go Sanctuary, TP, TP, Dwelling, Dwelling, Dwelling? That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 workers. We cannot do that, especially because we need our power for a dig. So the question is, which is the wrong thing to do? Is the wrong thing to do to try to get out that extra structure? Or is the wrong thing to do to try to get out the sanctuary? I'm going to say that the right thing to do here is to temple for water 1. then go fly, 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 and build out 2 TPs. Temple TP, TP, TP is 8 workers, and then I have 3 left. Oh, that doesn't work either. Temple TP, TP, 3 workers. Yeah, that works, right? How many are we actually winning this like we think? Like in terms of structures? Let's just check real quick. Or like in terms of this guy here, the settlements. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We're gonna have 10, 11. Yeah, okay. We are winning that by a mile like we thought we were. Should we consider some alternate lines? For example, can I make a sanctuary town work here? There is an 11-point town left, but I guess... Okay, so 2 people are going to be taking towns. If I manage to get the double spade action, could this be worth it? This would take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 workers to turn this into a sanctuary. 9, 10, 11, 12. I only have 10 workers. Okay, that can't happen. Okay, yeah. So Sanctuary Town is certainly out of the question. Yeah, it's like pretty awkward for me if someone winds up taking a single dig action on me. How do I look if I do TP, TP, dwelling, 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 hard dig? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That's still 11, so I can't not take a dig action or like a worker's action or something. So I think single dig is just important enough that we just take it here. But giving coins to witches feels so bad. It feels so wrong. But I think that we kind of want to do that. Yeah, okay. We do this, witches will take the coins, and then I will grab water 1 with my next action. Oh shit, mermaids took that. So witches might take water 1 now. No, okay, they advanced shipping. Okay, that's good. I just realized that Cultists taking this is... It's good news for me because it means that witches... It's that much harder for witches to get I-11. Witches don't have many cheap hexes left, so I think that they might go ahead and advance their digs now. We are going to take this because there's nothing else for Cultists that they can really do. Yeah, they have an uncomfortably good network. I don't think I can get down to 2 structures, and they probably are going to get down to 2 structures, right? That's quite unfortunate. I should have taken H3 or A7. I don't know why I didn't see that. That was a huge mistake. I've just been playing very poorly today. Well, nothing to be done about it. Yeah, they just have... Yeah, I needed to take one of those away. I am just, like, drunk or something. This is obviously too much leech. We can't take this. I like Witch's advancing ship even less because they needed no tempo for anything. As far as I can tell, there's no hexes that they're going to reach with that. They could have just tempoed for water 1. They're on this pass tile. But I mean, it's fine. Like, no one's crying for witches, right? They're probably beating us here. They're almost certainly beating us here. We know mermaids are beating us here. It looks like cultists are beating us, in fact, because they have 24 cult points. They're going to beat us in outright network, so that's plus 9 on us. Assuming that they tie with this, so that's like 36 points, plus the stronghold is 12 points, plus the town. Yeah. Witches grab G1. Okay, that puts them in position to get more leech, but they could have just advanced dig before doing that, so it looks like they might not be advancing dig. They actually have no more other single dig. Oh, they have two more single dig hexes. Okay. Don't know if Red Alert still wants this big leech, but we'll offer it to them. Mermaids have a landscape to put down, a TP to build. They are going to wind up with... Oh, they can take a workers' town so that they can hard dig down their final structure. Yeah, so it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm counting their workers, right? TP is 2. Dig down a structure is 3. Then they need 4 more workers. So that's 5 plus this would be 9 workers. So they can do priest to worker, or they can use a worker's town to make it happen. Seems pretty good. Not a ton of hard decisions to make here for us. Yeah, he does take a worker's town so he can dig down more stuff, which is a bummer because it does mean that he's going to send his priests to air. So I'm going to lose some points because of that. So that's sad. Witches continue to be absolute best buddies to cultists. I think that's wrong. I think that cultists are beating them. So I don't like witches being so kind to cultists. Cultists wind up not needing that leech, but yeah. I think that cultists are very clearly beating. To be fair, witches are on this pass tile, but I think that cultists are beating them in network. Yeah, God, I really screwed up by not by digging this D8 hex. I should have just taken A7. It was a big oversight on my part that cultists were competitive on network and that they might want this. I could have also just taken H3. It gives leech to other players, but yeah, like not taking A7 was just really, really bad by me. So right now I have a chance to make like to squeeze out a couple more points by templing for air 3, or by templing for air 1 right now, and then making a TP, and then doing a conversion for stuff. Don't know if it's great. It's like 3 points, but it really incentivizes it. Just like Red Alert is going to send 2 priests to air anyway. Like that's never not happening. So like the air 1 doesn't do me a ton of good, like in terms of cult points. But let's see. It's going to cost us 5 resources to make a TP, and it's going to cost us 2 net resources to make the to fly. So that's 8 resources. We have 15, 16, 17, 18. So we have 10 resources left over. So that's 3 points. If we temple and TP, that'll take down all our workers to 0. That'll take us down to 3 here. And then we're going to down convert this as well. From 3 to 1. From 3 to 0. So we're going to end with just 3 coins. So that's 1 point. So that's 1 point better. It's 1 point better for us to take air 1. Because, oh, I don't have any TP. I don't have any temples left. Okay. That was a pointless thing. Yeah, we definitely want to fly again, so we're not building the sanctuary for air 1. Instead, we're going to TP. We're going to fly. Mermaids are just going to advance digs. Yeah, by advancing dig, they can actually dig down this to connect. And then still dig, like, they can dig down a landscape to connect. And then dig down, like, their last structure over here. I have to say, like, I am a slight bit annoyed with all my opponents for, like, just letting... Like, witches letting mermaids do this is not right. I think that mermaids at least needed to landscape here and build taller in this town in order to do this. I think Fire X is going to beat me. He's gonna be like 3rd here. It's going to go mermaids by like 1,000,000 miles, then cultists, and then witches, then me. Well, apologies everyone for this stinker of a game. Mermaids should maybe interfere here. Am I wrong? Just turn this guy to black? Well, I guess cultists can still build it, so... Yeah, they just keep advancing dig and letting cultists do their thing. So yeah, now they can spend 2 workers here, 1 worker here, send a priest to air. Mermaids hard dig down their last structure. They get to 14. Don't think that seems very good. I think they're going to undo this. Fire X says next game I'm putting Swarmlings in. So I count 9 for the extra scoring for witches there. Sorry guys, my mouse is giving me issues. Yeah, my mouse wheel is effed up. Okay, so we're done. Bit of a dispiriting game. Red Alert's going to get out his last two structures. Gonna have 1 resource point, so that's 144. Passing for 12 is 156. Winning network outright, or tying network, 171. Sorry, that's, I think I said 166 so far, or 156 so far. Winning network outright, 171, plus this looks like 10-ish cult points. 11 cult points, so 182. I think he's last in the extra scoring, but we can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, Red Alert's only at 5 for the extra scoring, so it's still going to be like, I think I said it was like 180s or high 170s. Cultists here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which is our ahead of them in that scoring category. So that's going to be 6 points in the extra scoring, plus 12 points, or plus 15 points. So that's 21 points coming to them. So that's going to be 115 plus 24, 139. And we have 1 point on the cults. Oh, we have 2 points on the cults. So, huzzah. Plus 4 hey, I got the leech to make it 4. So 2 plus 4, 121. Win outright. So plus 24 from 18 plus 6. So it's like, what, 140s? Do we squeeze out a second maybe? Yeah, so this looks like 182 for Mermaids. And the rest of us are just fighting for scraps here. Yeah, so ultimately, it does look like we were never going to beat Mermaids. It looks like Mermaids were correct to be a 0 bid, given the way that Witches played. And Mermaids were every bit as good as we thought that they would be. And I think I was right to recognize that Cultists weren't as good as, like, people were bidding them as. I think that, but that said, I think that Cultists and Witches both had chances to beat me. And I think that they hurt each other and hurt me by taking air too. Cultists especially, I think, hurt themselves by taking air too. I think that it was entirely fine to just take like fire 1 there, or even just earth 1. I mean, granted they wound up parlaying, like they wound up getting like enough scoring favors anyway and hitting the trap hard enough that that might have been okay. But I guess we can break down like the way that this game went. We unfortunately wound up 1 structure short. We were a little worker tight throughout this game, which is, you know, nothing new from Fakirs. Red Alert crushed the pass tiles, which we expected. He also, wow, I scored 8 points off of the scoring track. That's just not good, guys. So yeah, guys, don't let this happen to you. Just bid Mermaids. Just bid Mermaids. So yeah, we actually made not very many points here, but because we're the 40 faction, that helped. We mainly got our points from just flying a lot. Yeah, we got our points from flying a lot and from the Fire Knight's final score. And honestly, like, yeah, this is hilarious. These are from 5 points from a town and 3 points from a TP, and that is literally it. So that was a good reason to just bid freaking Mermaids. I don't know if there's a ton more to learn from this, right? Like, it would have been nicer to get more double spades, I will say. Like, Cultists getting as many double spades as they did was just disgusting. It would have been nice to pass for more points, but again, like, Mermaids made that difficult, and also our relatively stunted economy compared to Mermaids made that difficult. I think that we could have had a much nicer game if other people didn't take Air 2. And yeah, that's all that I really have to say about this one. Mermaid's just too strong. I mean, the rest of us like wound up in like similar positions. It's not like we did like anything specific to distinguish ourselves from each other. I just wound up having the most points when the final scores tallied. I think that's that for now. Hopefully you guys enjoyed watching the stream. I thought it was an interesting one to play for sure. Despite that the winner was determined like very, very quickly early on in the game. So we will be back with like the same deal, same cast of characters next week. So yeah, check out the stream then. Until then, thanks everyone for watching. Thanks for chatting. We'll see you next time.